Hi, and welcome to the Divinely Inspired Woman podcast. I am your host, Patricia Wald-Hopkins. I am a modern mystic, and I am here to share with you the beautiful wisdom and stories from women that desire to lead their lives inspired by the divine within them. The divinely inspired woman is devoted to walking the path of her soul's calling, tuning into the divinity within to navigate life with ease and grace through all circumstances. She cultivates beauty in her daily life. She is here to share the most authentic self each day through thick and thin. So I hope you'll enjoy our show today and that you will leave with an infusion of inspiration for your soul and for your day and living your life. Well, I am back again to share some more about the Voices of Gaia New Earth Leadership Archetypes. And today I am going to be sharing with you the archetype of the entertainer. So go ahead and get comfortable and spend the next 10-15 minutes with me as I give you a mini activation for this beautiful New Earth Leadership Archetype. Enjoy. Hello. Let's go ahead and meet the archetype of the entertainer. This isn't just any archetype. This is a Voices of Gaia New Earth Leadership Archetype. And the entertainer is actually the 8th of the 8th. So what does that mean? Well, if you've been tuning into any of my season 2 podcasts, you might know that it's the last archetype in the sequence of the 8. And I have been having some guests on that resonate with a particular archetype, and then we've just been dropping in and seeing what transmission wants to come through in our conversation. And a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was just a week ago, I don't know, I had a conversation with the lovely Mariposa Young about how she felt the embodiment of the entertainer. And you might want to go back and catch that episode. It's episode 43. And listen to her experience with this archetype. But I'm going to go ahead and share with you right here, right now, the magic of this archetype in general. And the reason it's the 8th of the 8th, this is something I don't know if I've talked about yet. They came in, they downloaded in a sequence to me. The first one, which is the Peacekeeper, is like the base, right? It's like the most connected to the earth. I mean, not that all of them don't have a connection, but this one is like the most magnetically and interconnectively part of Gaia. And so it's kind of like as you go up, from the first archetype to the 8th, you're kind of going up and out into humanity more, into more of a social presence. So you can see why the entertainer is the 8th. It works its way from the peacekeeper to the gatekeeper to the miracle worker, the light bringer, the alchemist, the visionary, the lover, and then the entertainer. And each one, as you go up this sequence of being connected to the core of the earth and go up and up and up and out, like a channel of light to the entertainer, each one has a specific role in building that channel of light, or that tree of life. I don't know what you want to call it. Sometimes I see it as a tree. And so the entertainer's kind of out on, the fruit on the branches, and the peacekeeper is like the anchor, the one that holds the space, while the gatekeeper is the one who helps to strengthen the channel to the vessel, which is us, right? Which is our channel. And then the miracle worker are the ones who, like, they know where to go. They know where to go to set up these channels, activate people, at least channels, to receive miracles. Then it moves into the light bringer, which actually is the light coming down. So they actually are the ones who orchestrate and bring the light down. And then we move into the the alchemist. And these are the ones that start to prepare the mind, our minds, to do this work. I'm not going into any level of detail here because I want to focus on the entertainer, but the visionary is then, once that mind has been tuned and calibrated and restructured to function as a new earth leader, then the visionary can come forward. So we all have all these archetypes, and in our design, some of them are more dominant than others, but we all can activate, align to, and embody all of them and use them in our life. And so then from the visionary, you move into the archetype of the lover. And this one is the one that helps to prepare the heart for the passage into the 5D new earth consciousness. And then finally, we come to the entertainer. And this is the one that continues to inspire through creativity and play the spirit of all of us who are wanting to live in this new way, in this new earth leadership consciousness, and live from the heart, and be here as ambassadors of peace and love and kindness, and helping to move people through the density of the changes that we're in right now as a society. So this whole 8 frequency framework that has come to me is part of that process. And so with the entertainer, this one is all about, I'm just going to give you a little activation because I feel like it'll come through more clearly if I do it that way. So as an entertainer, you're here to share the frequency of the light of divinely inspired play through your voice of Gaia as a new earth leader. The mission of the entertainer is to continually enrich the spirit of each human that has made or is making the transition to the new earth consciousness. The entertainer embodies the essence of mastery, innocence, invisibility, rapture, humility, celebration, liberation, and communion. They embody the human gifts, we call them the superpowers, of versatility, innovation, artfulness, lightness, leadership, detachment, dynamism, and synergy. And they transmute the shadows of the challenges of our humanness of indifference, chaos, pride, desire, arrogance, expectation, provocation, and domination. And so this is these gifts that the entertainer has, they're 8, right? And they have, the gift is the most human usable form of the frequency band. There's the shadow, and then there's the essence or the city. And this is all based on the Gene Keys by Richard Rudd, which I've worked with for over 7 years now, and almost 7.5 years now. And I am, I became an ambassador and a guide. And then I was just called to bring through this particular framework to work with the Gene Keys, to be an ambassador and a guide with the Gene Keys through these archetypes as voices of Gaia, because that is part of my field of genius, is to work to bring soulful enrichment to people through processes like this. And so the entertainer is somebody who, may be doing a podcast like this, right? Or any kind of podcast that's soul enriching, that lifts your spirit, or, someone who makes films, or a painter or an inspirational speaker, a writer, anybody that's willing to share art from, that's divinely inspired or from their heart, anything that just really touches you and inspires you and motivates you to keep your heart open and to keep exploring a new way of living your life. And so this entertainer being the 8 of the 8 is just, it almost is like, the 8 representing the infinity. It's like, we got to keep inspiring ourselves as we go through these cycles of expansion and contraction, expansion and contraction. And what better is to have, a bard or somebody who touches your heart through their words or through their creations to keep you going, to keep you on the path as a new earth leader. So with that, I am going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about what's going on, how you can learn more about the archetypes. You can get a blueprint. It's called Your Voices of Gaia New Earth Leadership Archetype Blueprint. And it's a pretty intensive look at your energies through the keys, the gene keys in human design. And it will help you to identify what your dominant energies are, what your dominant archetypes are, and how you work with them through your design. And so that's something that you can find on my website, patricia.wald-hopkins.com, and begin your journey with them there. And right now, I'm getting ready to. When you get your blueprint, you can add on to participate in the next group journey spiral, which is for the light bringer. So the entertainer will come next year, so look out for that then. But you can participate in each of these group spirals that happen roughly every let's see, what is that, like 2.5 months or so. And so the next one that starts up is the light bringer. It starts October 26th. So if you're interested in that, you can reach out to me or go to my website again and look for the group journeys. So I hope that you felt inspired by this and that you will be curious to know what your blueprint is and how you can begin to work with these archetypes to help you to live a more heart-led life. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, stay divinely inspired. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Divinely Inspired Woman. Again, I'm your host, Patricia Wald-Hopkins, and I am so glad that you joined us here today. I hope you left with some soul food to inspire your daily life. And if you would like to learn more about my work, please check out my website, patriciawaldhopkins.com, and you can find out more about my divinely inspired practice and tools. So, thank you again. Have a beautiful day. Hi. I'm dropping in here with an announcement about a program, a new mentorship that I am offering. It's called Voices of Gaia, and it's about bringing your voice, your leadership, your life in alignment with Gaia's guidance. So if you feel called to learn more about this program, it's a beautiful, rich program where we dive into your essence, and if you so desire, we develop your business around it and really blossom into your whole lifestyle, this wisdom from Gaia that wants to be spoken through you. So if you feel called, reach out to me at patricia@patriciawaldhopkins.com. That's patricia@patriciawaldhopkins.com. There's no hyphen between Wald and Hopkins. And I would just love to hear from you and see if this is a good fit. So thank you for tuning in. Have a beautiful day.